Here we take a look at the manifest file for the Weather Viewer app that we demonstrated in the test drive, and there's three key things that we want to take a look at within the manifest. First of all, here at lines 6 and 7, nested in the manifest element, we have a uses permission element for the Android permission called Internet, and we need that because we're invoking web services over the Internet to obtain the data that we display in this app. Now, within the application node, we have a new subnode called receiver, which is for registering a so-called broadcast receiver, something that can receive broadcast messages. And in this case, the thing that's going to be receiving those broadcasts is our weather provider. Now, the weather provider is actually the implementation of the widget that we demonstrated to you that can be installed on a home screen of the user's device. Within the receiver element, the metadata element specifies an XML file that contains metadata for the widget, things like the initial width and height of the widget, for example, and we'll take a look at that file in the next video. And then separately, we've created two intent filters for this receiver, and this is basically designating the broadcast messages that the weather provider widget can respond to. And there are two different intent filters that we've created here. One is for the action called app widget update, and this one is going to be used by the system to update the widget in the background. And as you'll see in the next video, when we take a look at the XML file that contains the metadata for the widget, every 60 minutes we're going to have the widget update itself, and the system will broadcast a message to it to help it know when to update. Now, separately, we have another intent filter, which is actually for an action that we're defining within the app itself. If the user changes the default city, then we want the widget to display the information for that new default city. So the app at that point will broadcast a message that the widget can respond to change the default city for the widget, and then load up the appropriate weather data. And then finally, back at the end of the application element, as another nested element, we have a service element that is defining the nested class weather service within our weather provider widget class as a service that can be launched in the background, and this will also help with the updating of that widget.